Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna cover a bit more about RC-500 looper. And what I'm going to do is, there's people were asking me questions, well, months ago probably they got the answer on this, but like what I'm going to do is I'm gonna prepare a loop track in Ableton Live, and then I'm gonna export it, do some kind of a overdubbing, doing undoing, resetting, to see what you can do with the track, and then I'm gonna go through some technical stuff. So let's start with Ableton Live. I just did a basic track here. Let me just play this and let's see how this sounds. Well, it needs to start from the beginning. Okay, so what I did, I got I have mono drums here. How do I do this? And I just picked up one of the grooves. Actually, it was the first one. But I just dropped it, onto here, and I just took 4 measures of this, right? I just dragged this. So I wanted only to do 4 measures. I think this is free, light, whatever the IK multimedia doing, and then I have this like a theme I played on my MPK Mini Akai keyboard. So what I used for this, this is what I got with, I think with the keyboard. So I use this Velvet synth, and I use this 14th preset. Why? That's something I liked. It's like a simple, very simple here melody. I just added some kind of a movement. What I like to do with my looper is, you can use this for practicing or whatever, or coming up with ideas, but like some kind of a movement makes me more inspired to play longer. So we can export this, and when we go and check the support, it supports 16, 24, 32-bit sampling frequency, 44.1 kilohertz. So let's export that. Okay, let me see, file, export audio, main, wave file, 32. Let's do 32 first. So I'm gonna do 32, and I'm gonna just call it 32-bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna do 16 as well. Okay, let me do 16 as well. It says it supports it, so let's see if that's true. And that one there is from earlier when I was playing with exporting audio. You can export in MP3 or whatever you if you wanted to. There are other options here. I didn't really go into details, but this is going to be good enough for what we're gonna go and try. And so now I'm gonna import this into my looper and see what I can do with it. Okay, let's load these files onto the station. So I'm going to use these two memory banks, they're empty. One has tempo 120, the other one has 115. So we're gonna do this pedestrian way. We can use Boss Tone Studio, but like, let me just show you how to just connect it. We don't need to use it. We can just use a File Explorer for this. So if you go to Menu, Storage, just connect. And it's connecting there. So what's gonna happen is it shows up, in my case, it shows up as L drive. Here you have this Roland folder, and inside you have data. This is configuration of each memory location, and you have wave here, and these are memory locations with, you know, track 1 and track 2. There's nothing here, nothing here, as you've seen on that just a moment ago. So Boss says you can use 16-bit, 24-bit, 32-bit floating point. These wave files with sampling frequency 44.1 kilohertz. We did that. We did that for Ableton Live. But here's the instruction how to do it, you know, without Boss Tone Studio. So what's actually happening is Boss Tone Studio is resampling, I suppose, these or converting these wave files into 32-bit, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. So it's not really true that it supports 16-bit, but what this says here, don't change folder structure there, because that's how firmware knows what to read, where, from, etc., etc. And just copy paste files, that's it, and it will know what to do with them. You can put whatever name you want there. If you want to back up this, just go to the just go Explorer, copy paste the whole folder, just take everything if you want to. You can also save these this configuration if you want to, but I'll get to that a bit later. So now I'm gonna copy this to memory locations 2 and 3. So what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to copy 16-bit 1 on the track 1 of the memory location 2, and then I'm gonna copy in these 2 locations. You know, I'm just gonna, in case I start playing with it and I mess it up, I just don't want to do this again. Okay, so I copy this. Let's see, how do we do this? I should be able to safely remove. I should be able to safely remove here, right? Where is that? Eject. And as you can see, this changed here, this disconnected, and you can see here I do have in memory location 2 and 3 something. So I'm gonna play, this is track 1 active now. If I play this unsupported file, so this is that 16-bit, but if I change the track and I go to 02, it's working. Now, let me see the other one. Okay. And I mean, as you expect, this is going to work. What I did was I changed the tempo there, but look at this. it recognized that it's 84 BPM. If you remember how we extract that, I'm not sure how did it know this. I'm guessing that this has to do with the length of the file and the settings, that this is 4 beats. But let me see, where's this in T1? So loop length is 4. Maybe that's the reason why it knew that to figure out that is the correct tempo. There's also another thing here. Where's that? So this loop sync on, it should be tempo sync on. I think if this is on, we can change the tempo and it will change the tempo of playing this song, so of the loop. So let me change the track, play, tempo. Huh? Did you see that? Let's stop it. I'm gonna change now loop sync to off. Okay. Well, that did not work. Oh. You can't change this until it's playing, so I changed the wrong one, okay? So let's play. So as you can see here, because of this being off, it keeps playing at 84 beats per minute, but what's going to happen is when I record it, it's going to use this tempo for it, and all the configuration will be regarding that tempo. So it's just one thing to notice. So let me see if you can see it's faster. So if I go here, if you remember, this one was on 115, tempo is also 84. So I'm guessing that's how it knows if it is 4 measures, and it figures it out based on the length of the track. So another thing, let's go back. With this, you can do recording and do whatever you want as you would normally. Nothing is going to be saved or destroyed until you record it. So say I'm going to go to track 1. Remember, that one is unsupported file. I can clear it. And you see it's blue, it's cleared. I can go to track 2. I can clear that as well. Okay, now nothing's going to happen until I save this. So if I go memory location 3 and then 2, it's back, right? Unsupported file. So I'm just going to clear this one and save it. And I go back and you can see it's cleared. If you want to play, overdub, do whatever you want, same story. So let me do that. Do some playing. right, as you could have seen there, you can do, undo, whatever you want to do. So I'm gonna play it again, and you can see that it remembers that overdub, right? Okay, I messed it up there, and I can't undo that second overdub because I kind of didn't hold long enough to undo it. But because I didn't save anything, I can just end. And we're back. So you can just go and undo this by going to the other memory location. It won't, because nothing is saved. So that means, so one thing to note is that when you're doing overdubbing, you can undo that one, but only the last one, and you can redo only the last overdub. Previous ones stay there until you move to the next memory location and go back, or you save it and then it's permanent there. That's about it. All right, so a couple of technical notes. I'll put up these URLs onto the website. So what I have here, what I want to show you is I created this visualizer. It's nothing fancy, but you can see here it shows you the name and of each memory location, and it shows, you know, details of all the configuration. So remember that memory location 2, there should be nothing on track 1. It's not great, so it's empty here. Recording tempo is 120. I think that's how we originally configured it. But this is just for me to visualize what I have on these. Now this is not great or whatnot, but like here you can see it has recorded. So one note, it's put this recorded tempo to 840. This is 84 BPM. I'll get to that. But this one just shows what the configuration is per each memory location, because you can have all of that. I kind of extracted everything from the PDF parameters with parameters. This is not really that useful if you want to do any kind of changes to the configuration. For that, there is this handy tool. I haven't used it. This loop station editor. You can give it a try if you want. I'll put a link on the website. So it seems like you can select everything. I just had this visualizer like this. I might improve on this. I don't know. I didn't want to spend too much time on this, but it is kind of a handy. You can see all this interesting information here. Controls. You can see all the various controls you can set up for pedal 1, for pedal 2, for like these things. Rhythm. Just lots of rhythms that you can set up yourself, you know. But anyway, I'll put this on GitHub, and if anybody wants to, they can use it. As I said, this one is for, I didn't use this at all, but apparently it's working fine. So what the last thing I wanted to do is I did save. So here there's nothing because we cleared that one and saved that information. So I did overdub of this one, and actually this overdub is the last version of that. So you see how it renamed the wave file. Let's see if this is going to... And you can see that it is playing the last version we recorded. Here, because I copy pasted, I didn't save anything. So it remained the same name. So this is something to note, okay? It renames the files when you save them. What else I want to say? So here, this is somebody asked about changing names. So you can use this tool to change the name. I'm guessing. What's happening is everything is stored in XML file. Let me open that up. And I'm gonna open it in Notepad. I never do this, but it doesn't really matter, because what happens here, somebody was asking name, so all of those parameters I visualized on that page, but like name these are ASCII characters. So if you wanted, you can change this, get ASCII. Do I have that somewhere? Have ASCII codes here, and '77. Where's '77? These are decimal numbers. It's M. I'm guessing 101 is going to be lowercase e, because it's going to save memory. 101 E, and probably M 109. Yeah, so these are the characters. So you can have 12 characters there, and 32 is I think it's space. Yeah, it's empty space. So it's always the same, you know. I'm guessing this is 0, 1. Because this is the first memory location, and if I go further, you know, I know lots of people don't really care about this, but I just thought to mention this. It's a bit tricky one. If you want to do it yourself, make sure you copy all of the files and change both files, because it has some kind of a yeah, it's a bit technical, but like at the end of the file there are some bytes that indicate the version of the file, so it will take the, I suppose, I don't know how it works actually, but it will take one of the other. The other is the previous version of the file. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. Hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully if anybody has any questions, I might answer them way faster than the previous time, or this time. All right, until next time.